what kind of goes through your mind when you think about all that time that has passed?
Everything. Everything. Ain't nothing changed in my mind from that day to now. Everything. I'm always trying to figure out, asking the Lord, what can I do next? And I did everything that I know that I could do to get justice for my son. As much as putting my life on the line, giving my life. Because I called them out because I had asked them to leave him alone. I had asked them at my house, at the school, but they was determined to murder my son. They couldn't whoop him with fists. They couldn't beat him one-on-one. So I told him, I said, if they can't beat you, they'll ambush you. And they did it. And what hurt so bad is when they ambushed him, I found out about it on his mother called me and told me, because the policeman didn't call me and tell me because they had my number, because they knew me. I was the senior vice president of NAACP for 3 terms, so they knew me. And she told me, and so I went to the hospital. And the bad part is about the situation is I had to play a part in his death because I had to turn off the switch. So now I'm thinking. And then they ambushed another one of my son's friends, Jay. And I said, it seemed like they're not going to stop because they had 6 on the hit list. There was 6. There was 5 on the list. They had murdered 2 of them. Jay's name wasn't on the list. Kyle's name wasn't on the list. Because Kyle was my son's friend too, and they did try to ambush him too. But he was able to succeed he did defend himself, self-defense, with a gun, because they had guns. But whoever the first policeman was on the crime scene picked up the gun. Because if my son had been shot and I'm on the scene, whether I'm a policeman or not, I'm gonna get the gun. And that's what happened. See, Kyle shouldn't be in prison. But back to that gang called the Money Green that ambushed my son, and after they ambushed Jay, and I'm recognizing there's 4 still on the hit list. Because when we went to Georgia, that's where I'm from, he brought it to my attention. And he said, Dad, it looked like we are running. So I let him continue to speak to me. And then when he finished, I said, now you see what your mother and father have to do to protect their children. I said, I'm not a coward. He said, Dad, I'm not calling you a coward. I said, but there's someone that would help them. The 4 was left on the hit list. I said, there's someone to help them. So he said, who? So I just blared out some names. I know wasn't nobody gonna help them. I knew it. But I had to calm him down because I see it in his face, but he was not disobedient to me when we was going, because he was 17 and I had authority still. So that's why I took him away. And I said, if things don't work out, we go back. And things didn't work out. I was there 4 months and I didn't make $1. So I know this is where I made my home at, here in Norwalk, when I came here in 1968. So this is where I'm established at. And so he was coming back anyway. He was gonna come back. He was gonna leave me. I said, no, you're not gonna leave me down here. So We came back. So I told him to be careful, and he was careful. But that gang wouldn't stop. So they ambushed him after they murdered Jay. Then I put him on a 7-foot long poster, 18 inches wide. And I put everybody's picture and name on that poster, whose child they had murdered. And then I called them out. I said, meet me head on, face to face. But they didn't meet me. And Norwalk police called me and asked me. They know I had made that statement because I posted it. And they said, are you all right? And I said, yes, I'm all right. Whatever else that policeman said to me that day, I don't know. Because my mind was made up to take that journey, that mission. It was a journey and a mission, whatever you want to call it, of no return, if they'd have called me out. That's why I was thinking about I would give my life for any of my children, but I could only give it one time. That gang had murdered nobody else's child since, not by my knowledge, because I still would monitor them. But they didn't challenge me because there was no return for me.
Do you know the person? Do you know who killed your son?
Lots of names flashing around, but I can't pinpoint the cricket puller yet. Everybody that was on that crime scene that day is guilty of a murder. By them being guilty of a murder, you cannot, you have to arrest them, get them all, and you charge them all for murder. Because see, that group should have been stopped in 2003. See, I was to the table with the high officials, what you would call men with top rank in Norwalk. But they didn't listen. They would argue down and say, no, it's not.
Is this gang still around?
You haven't heard no name called the Money Green, have you?
No.
Okay. Because when I called them out, they haven't murdered nobody else since. They went underground, I went somewhere. Some of them did with the Bridgeport. I was in Bridgeport. Wherever I go, I would be prepared.
Is it important to you to see somebody arrested? Or in your mind, I guess, is that justice for you, having someone arrested?
I want justice, no doubt about it. That's why I called them out, so I figured I'd get justice that way. Because most likely, they outnumber me 15 to 20, probably guns. So they probably would have murdered me. But then the state would have perhaps arrested all of them because they got a book 5 inches thick at Norwalk Police Headquarters. So they probably would have arrested them. But on that journey at that time, the way I was thinking, the way I feel, I would have took as many as I could with me, yes. That's the only way you're going to stop them. It seemed like the police could stop them, the street cops. No disrespect when I say street cops, they are policemen. They know the players, but the high officials won't turn the police loose on them. You got to let them loose, let them do their job, because they know them. They know that these guys are murderers. They know it, but everybody was afraid of them because they had a little code saying no snitch. They said no snitch, no stitch. The no snitch meant to me was to continue to kill because the community know who did it. They need to tell the policeman. They need to just write a note and stick it on the police car. You don't have to sign your name, just tell them. I mean, this violent, our young black men throughout the state, in the United States, it can be stopped. But it's the community got to do it. The ones who know have to tell the policeman. You can't say the police ain't doing their job when you're not telling them, because the police cannot babysit us. So they couldn't babysit me either when I called them out. They didn't know what my Johnny was. They didn't know my Johnny was no return for me. They didn't know that because I didn't tell nobody that. Only somebody knew about that was just me and the Lord. And I had to carry it out because I couldn't turn around because I didn't confess it now. I got to take it to the Lord now. Take it to the Lord in prayer. I have to carry that journey out.
Are you hopeful that there will be an arrest in the future?
Most likely, pretty sure it will be. Yeah. I have faith. I had faith when I investigated his case and walked the streets and got the witness and did whatever I had to do to get him acquitted because I knew they was on him and I knew they was bothering him. I have faith. And faith set him free because I said, if you tell me the truth, I said, don't lie to me. You tell me the truth. The Lord will set you free. And the Lord set him free. But the devil wanted to murder him, and they did it. So now I have to go at the devil. And I knew them. I knew them. I live in Norwalk. Before some of them was born, so I knew them. And I knew some of them parents. It seemed like they could not control them. I don't know I'm not saying my son was an angel or anything. When he was around that corner there, I can't see him. But if someone knew me, and every time you would see me, he's in that truck, they knew him. And I would tell him, I said, you better be careful because people know me, they're going to tell me if he done anything. So he was not bad. He was home. I'm home. If he got it in the day, I'm on a school bus, I'd take him off the school bus for the rest of the year. I'd take him to school. I'd pick him up from school because I wanted peace.
What do you miss the most about him?
Everything. He's my strength and my weakness. That's what he was. And I think about it all the time, especially when I had to play a part in his death. That's tough. I wouldn't advise nobody to be a member of this club. There's a lot of members of us. There's a lot of us. You don't want to be a member of this club here. No. This is a sad club. Very sad. And I figure, like I said, the only way you stop them, challenge them. They stop. So I don't know what's going to happen now. The police would do their job, but they need the help. And the community could help them on these cases, on a lot of things. They could help them. So you can't say the police ain't doing their job because you ain't doing your job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
My pleasure.
I know this isn't easy for you.
Nope, it's not. But it has to be said. And have to be did. I think about it all the time. Because I have plenty of time to think. And it's tough.